All right, all right, all right. Let's do this. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. We're back. We are actually live and in the flesh on the internets, and we have the homebrew legend, Ernie Silverberg, with us of Trident Pinball.
I don't know. I don't know if legend's the right word, but I'm sure
like...
there's other choice words from people. But I'll take legend for today.
Everyone's favorite current homebrew designer. They all agree in the chat. Hello, everybody. Hello, Phils. We will see y'all very soon. Mr. J. Crane. It's good to be back. Sorry we haven't been doing too many live. I've been living on reruns for the past few months. We've had a very busy show season, and the shop's constantly popping. So, but it's good to see everyone. Everyone's waving to you, Ernie.
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking at the wrong. I got two laptops. I was looking at the wrong laptop. Let's see if I can do this without screwing it up too bad.
No, you're doing good. So, how do we sound everyone too? Are our levels mixed? Do you want me to change anything? Oh, just Borg Dog's here as well. Yay! And Danzig. We got Jake in the house. He is our fearless leader in the Strictly Customs Pinball group on Facebook. If y'all are not on that group and you are on Facebook, join in. We talk all about homebrew and custom games. People are constantly sharing their projects, sharing ideas and feedback, and it's a really fun curated group. And
yeah, I always try to I think about it, not often, but try to figure out who I like better. If I like Jesse the dog better, or if I like Jake better.
I don't even know why you have that
Yeah.
It's always
I mean,
Jesse.
it's
Jake
Jesse.
knows
I
it's
know it's
Jesse.
Jesse.
Jesse is the homebrew custom game pinball mascot. uh, But yeah, so Ernie, we've been working a lot with Ernie this year and with Fast Pinball and the homebrew community. As Marco, we joined up with Fast for their PinDevCon. You can check out more information on pindevcon.com. But basically, it's supporting all the makers that are working in the custom pinball field, and we have a 4 show tour this year. We're on our final show, but we started off at Texas Pinball Festival, where we brought out several different custom games, including Ernie brought out his Beavis and Butthead, and we had people from all across the country come to that show. Then we went to Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show, which is Aaron Davis from Fast and Fast Pinball's home turf. So it was fun celebrating this community there. And a few weeks ago, we just finished up with Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta, Georgia, where again we had a very nice setup, and it was cool because Ernie and Aaron actually worked on a brand new homebrew game design. Live at the show for all 3 days. So if you came over to our PinDevCon booth area, you could see their wiring and installing mechs and stuff. And that's kind of the game we're going to talk about today. But mark your calendars because in a few months is Pinball Expo, which we will end the 2024 tour in, and it's going to be huge. It's Pinball Expo's 40th anniversary, which is a super big deal for all of us in pinball. And just looking at the list, I think we might have like 20 homebrew games at
Yeah,
least coming.
I think at least 20.
Yeah, so
And
it's gonna be
there's a lot and
very cool.
a lot of good ones
Yeah,
coming
so
too. I know Saw, Friday the
mhm.
13th. Um, My games. There's which the other two I mentioned are a lot better.
Mhm.
Possibly Harry Potter
Ooh.
homebrew will possibly be there.
Ooh,
So
who's doing the Harry Potter? I gotta add them to
it's
my list.
Kyle Reed.
Cool.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, he is doing a fantastic job. And I mean, it's going to be the stuff that he's doing in it is absolutely outrageous.
Wow. Very cool. Yeah, we're trying to convince Sean Irby to bring out his 8 Ball Beyond. It's a crowd
Yep.
favorite, and really, we're trying to convince Aaron Davis to just load up all the homebrew games in the Pacific Northwest and drive it cross
Yeah.
country
Well,
to Expo.
I think that 8 Ball is actually at his house. I know it was. I don't know if it's
Oh,
still there, but it was
nice.
at his
Just
house,
keep
so
it
that
all
might be pretty
secret.
easy to do.
I need to tell him to jump on in the chat. Been a second before I talk to him. Uh, Twitch, Marco, Pinball, now. that's that's me summoning Aaron Davis to join in on the chat. Um, awesome. Well, let's well, one more announcement is Ernie's going to come with us to Soda City Comic Con, which is next weekend, right? Are you committed to that
Yep.
yet? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm committed.
Awesome. So we'll have this game there too, and he'll be doing some installs and tinkering around with it. And depending on the internet, we will try our best to go live on Saturday afternoon and hang out in the booth while we
Yeah,
work on
got
this. So
some additional stuff that we can install there and wire some more stuff up, and people will even be able to flip it and shoot it too.
that's awesome.
So
Yeah, cool. I love it. So yeah, let's tell us about the game and let's see it. Ernie has another
you want me to
camera.
swap to it? Yeah,
Yeah,
let me
let's
swap
go check it
to
out. This originally was
it.
gonna be a Dragon Ball Z themed pin, and then the universe spoke, and I think we're changing the theme. Right?
Yeah, it's going to Adventure Time.
Adventure time.
Yeah, which Dragon Ball Z was good. I love Dragon Ball Z, and it's probably the only anime that I really watched growing up. But I'm really particular about the videos that I use when I'm making like the track
Mm.
modes and the screens and stuff like that. And the quality for Dragon Ball Z is not quite at 1080p. I don't even know if it's 720p. a lot of it I think is more closer to the 480p just because it's older, and a lot of the upscaled versions of it now are just they're not that great. So
Gotcha.
got thinking about it. Adventure Time has always been on my list of something that I wanted to do. My kids love it. I like it. You know, I won't say it's my favorite cartoon in the world, but it is definitely cool and has a lot of cool stuff that translates to pinball pretty well. Yeah, I don't know
Nice.
where we want to start. We'll start on the playfield or start on boards or.
Yeah, let's start on the playfield, like what we're looking at, what your concept is so far. It's come a long way since even from Southern Fried. Look, you even have an upper playfield too. Awesome. And
Yeah,
then yeah,
and
your little
that's
wavy
and
bends.
still kind of being made, the upper playfield. I mean, I have the layout what I want to do, but there's a couple things raise it up just a little bit to get the angle right. Yeah, I'll just kind of walk through what the current idea is. Starting from the bottom, I'll start on the right side.
Cool.
The shooter lane right here, you have a drop target bank over here. That spells BMO. BMO is one of the characters from Adventure Time. He's a little
My
video game
summoning
system.
worked. We got Airy in the
Oh,
chat.
is Aaron on here?
That was good. That was a 3-minute window.
Yeah, that's pretty good turnaround. So BMO is like a little video game console in the game. So I thought or in the show. So I figured it would be really cool to have it on the playfield. This is actually a small screen,
Nice.
which will be BMO. And I'm actually going to do like the call outs for like what targets to hit, the call outs for different modes, different things like that. And then possibly what I'd like to do is even have like a little game mode, because in Adventure Time, he's a video game console, so they're able to play things like Galaga and like older arcade games. So I was thinking about trying to work some of that into just some fun modes to throw in there, where you
Oh,
might play some older arcade games, maybe Pong, Galaga, different things like that on it.
sweet.
Using stuff that I can use the flipper and make it work. But there's just a little 180 ramp here, that I believe was it's either from Roller Coaster Tycoon,
Oh yeah, I think
or
so.
I think that was from Roller Coaster Tycoon. If I remember correctly, it's from Roller Coaster Tycoon. Um, yeah, so that's that
Nice,
ramp,
Airy.
comes through the wire form, little 180 there. It also, you can hit it from the shooter lane. So I haven't engineered it yet, but have to come up with a knockdown for this 3 drop target bank. But the shooter lane will come and circle around, or 180 up that, and come to your right in line every time.
Very cool.
Just with a launch button, no plunger on this one, just a launch button with an auto launcher. Moving kind of that same ramp here, this left, it's kind of similar to in AIQ. So Elwin's
Kind of
game.
goes straight up and over.
Yeah, kind of straight up and comes over. And there's a ramp. I don't have it on here right now, but there's actually a ramp that comes, a wire form that comes from the upper playfield down and over to your left ramp. So it kind of goes over one of the ramps that's there.
Nice.
Still trying to incorporate into the show what this ramp is and what this mech over here is. There's a
So if
couple
you
different
had
things
any
I'm going to do.
ideas, drop in the chat too.
Yeah, for sure. My working idea right now is this is possibly going to be Jake from the show. That's the dog, and he kind of can stretch and grow big.
Oh, like his arm
So
kind of going over.
yeah, his arm or maybe his body, like this is him going over, and his head right here or something where the ball comes out. Something like that, just to incorporate in it. But then he also grows and gets really big, so I thought it might be cool over here. So this is a 3-ball lock from Dialed In from Jersey Jack.
Not to cut you off, but to cut you off, how long is your camera cord? Like, would you be able to take the camera off the tripod and bring us in closer to the
Yeah,
mechs? Yeah.
yep, it's a 10-foot cable, so we should
Ooh,
be.
yeah, let's get in there. Just a little bit of Blair Witch Project to load us up into
Yeah,
this.
let's see. I'm gonna let the camera catch up so
Oh
I can kind
yeah,
of see
this
what
is
it looks like.
dope. This is great. I can dig it. I'll put the chat next to me. Sweet. Wow.
Okay, so hopefully it'll. Yeah, I guess the quality's not too bad.
So are you doing fabricating and welding as well too
Yep,
for these
yep,
pieces?
yep. So I still need to clean everything up with a Dremel. But yeah, so basically this ramp here in the middle was from maybe Jurassic Park.
Okay.
I can't remember. Or Led Zeppelin. I think that one may have been Led Zeppelin ramp. Little 180 ramp that's on the top left kind of corner up there on Led Zeppelin.
Mm.
So it took this and actually bent the center part up, cut it, and then welded the wire form onto it and over to make that work as a kind of like a vertical ramp right there. So yeah,
Yeah, and it works because you posted a video on Facebook a week or so ago, uh,
yeah, we'll
showing the ball
once
and
once we
the
walk
shot.
through everything, I'll start the game up and I can actually show it hitting it and all that. It works pretty well. Um, then kind of what from there, I'll go to the left. This little piece right here is meant to.
Can you tilt the camera down a little bit?
Yep.
Sweet. Nice,
So
nice.
that
Oh,
should.
nice. I like
Yep.
it.
So this will actually, you can hit it from both flippers,
Ooh,
left
look
or
at this
right,
spinning.
and it
Nice.
loops into the spinner, and then throws it into the BMO targets over here.
Mm.
So you can use that to kind of keep hitting those, as well as some spinner effects right there. And then I like having targets in games because you can do some cool little things. Even it's minimal points, but even like to start stop things or have to hit things on a timer basis. So I try to have
I'd
a
much
decent
rather
amount of
hit a target
targets.
than a post. At least
Yep,
it
and
feels
that's
like I'm
me.
doing something. Give
You
me
can
those dopamine hits, please.
yeah, there's some spots where a post doesn't make sense because there's just not enough room.
Yeah. Or
But
a
if
target.
I can put a
Yeah.
target, yep, if I
Yeah.
can put a target, I try to put a target. I think on the right side over here, and I'm still kind of trying to decide what I'm going to do. Um, I have a Newton cube coming
Oh.
from Marco, which I'm thinking of putting on this right side of this ramp.
Oh wow.
I just have
Okay.
to make sure it's not going to block that on. If not, I'll use it somewhere over on the right side. But yeah, I like targets. I hate not I don't hate posts, but I like to have even if it's a mistake shot and you just miss something and hit it, it's nice to hit something.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
then I'll come back over here to the left side.
Nice.
We've got a VUC here,
Mm-hmm.
entrance or exit. So there's
Oh, okay.
actually a entrance over here for the flipper.
Gotcha.
So there's a flipper up here that you can enter in there and get it in there. That'll, for people familiar with Adventure Time, that'll be the Nidosphere. So it's like a underground, I want to say like a hell type thing, but kind of is.
I gotta
Guy
catch up on my
collects
Adventure
souls.
Time.
Yeah, so the plan there is like if you're in a mode and you go into the Nidosphere, I'll actually have the playfield go completely black and then turn everything red. So it's kind of like the theme from the show.
Nice.
Um, this left ramp is just a quick little turn, a nice little shot to kind of hit it, come back down, and keep on going. Um, I like little quick returns on some of the ramps just to keep it interesting. Another target there just to have something else to hit.
Mm-hmm.
The left ramp, I haven't 100% decided what that is. Right now, it's going to be Fire Kingdom. So there's like a few different kingdoms from the show, and some different princesses. So that would be like Fire Kingdom, and there's like Fire Princess. That would be kind of like her ramp. A lot of Adventure Time is Finn, which is one, and Jake are the main characters that are saving princesses from the Ice King. So there's a lot of episodes where that's kind of going on. So that'll kind of be in the theme. Um, moving on to the mech right above it, you have this is a 3-ball lock from Dialed In from
Mm.
Jersey Jack. I took that and cut off the wire form and then welded, fabricated it onto another 180. I believe it was Led Zeppelin ramp. So it's kind of hard to see, but basically what that does is it loops up in there, locks the ball, and then there's a coil right here that fires the ball right back at the flipper.
Whoa. Oh, so on the upper playfield has a flipper, or which flipper is it firing to?
No, it'll so it comes in here and it'll fire right down at your left or right flipper. Normally goes to the left, but sometimes it'll shoot over to the right side on the bottom.
Oh wow, like a
So
cannon. It
kind of
shoots
like
out.
a cannon, yeah. It shoots it out kind of like a cannon.
Whoa.
Throws it at it pretty good. which is fun. It's pretty cool. And I'll use it as a ball lock and probably like a mode select type thing. So you'll lock it in there, select the mode, and go from there. For people familiar with the show, this will probably be the Enchiridion, which is the kind of like their adventure book or adventure Bible, and it kind of tells them how to do everything and what they should do. There's a lot from the show about that, so I'll probably do that for that, but it's not 100% yet.
Nice.
Beside that, and if I'm going too fast or people have questions, let me know.
Yeah, if you all have questions for Ernie, feel free to drop them in the chat. For sure, for sure.
So this area to the right of that mech with the cannon is a couple smart drops that will drop down, kind of like doors is what I'm figuring it'll kind of be. And then this other piece from Roller Coaster Tycoon, the tower, is actually going to be Finn and Jake's treehouse. So they have a treehouse that they live in. You'll get in there, shoots it up, and then brings it back down into the center area. But I'll use that for some modes and starting some modes, stopping some modes, and different things. The middle here, you have a flipper. I think I already seen it, showed that. You'll have a flipper here on this left orbit. There's 3 drop targets here that you'll hit. Current plan is to possibly have a suspended target in the air, because the ball does bounce off of those. So instead of having some kind of like a cover or some kind of something to keep it down, I'm planning on having a suspended target in the air that goes along with the show, that you'll actually hit off those targets to hit the target in the air.
No, that's awesome. Whoa.
So kind of like a rebound shot, and I have room to do it, and it does rebound in the right direction, so I think it'll work pretty well.
Has that been done in pinball anywhere yet?
I don't know
An
of
air
anybody that's
target.
done it. Yeah, so it'll be a suspended air target.
That's cool.
So I haven't seen it.
It is
Maybe there is
hacked.
somewhere, but I
Yeah,
have
you
to
got a
get a
lot going
patent.
on.
I have to get a patent for that
Absolutely.
suspended shot.
Yeah, for real.
The center area. So once you get in there, this is going to be Candy Kingdom. So one of the main areas in the show is Candy Kingdom, and there's a princess called Princess Bubblegum. So this will likely be her ramp back there if you hit that. And then this area will kind of be Candy Kingdom, and these little targets will be either saving citizens or destroying monsters that are in there, different things like that. I'll have some different modes that go along with it. But you can enter that from the left flipper, from the top left flipper, and then there's going to be an up post in the back on the main orbit that will stop the ball and drop it into there as well.
Oh, nice.
Then so you have the pop bumper in the center that has some random chaos, and then there's actually a slingshot right below that to kind of has some random chaos if the ball kind of flops around. But then you have 2 different ramps to hit. You have the Princess Bubblegum ramp, and then there's another ramp here. I believe it was from Getaway, and then I kind of modified it a little bit and made it curves around here. There's actually a mount that this goes on that's not on there right now that
Oh yeah,
raises
I
this
can
up.
see it. Yeah.
And people familiar with the show, it's going to be the dungeon train. So they get on a train that keeps circling, like there's no exit in the show, and they keep clearing carts of the train, like a dungeon from like Diablo or
Yeah,
like old
yeah,
school
yeah.
RPGs.
For
So you
sure.
can actually keep looping that ramp, because once you hit that ramp and come around, it comes around up and around this the treehouse back into the left orbit. You can actually keep hitting it and keep on doing it. So that'll be kind of like a loop thing, and then it'll kind of go along with the show, like how many train carts did you clear for the dungeon train. Probably some modes to go along with that.
That sounds
I'm
super
gonna
fun.
put you down for a second so I can get my headset's about to die, I think. So I'm gonna grab my other one just to make sure.
Ooh, nice. Focus.
Can you still hear me?
Yep, we can still hear you. This is a cool angle too.
Okay, let me. Oh yeah, looking at it, my dirty welds.
It's welded with passion.
Yep, Yeah, well, I'm not like the greatest welder in the world, but there's nothing that a grinder can't fix.
Absolutely nothing.
So that's what. No matter how bad it looks, you can always make it look better.
Yeah,
Let me
no, but
see.
it like even in this like what you would call rough, but this nice whitewood stage, it's the game looks super compelling and interesting. There's a lot going on already, all
Yeah, and
in
I
that back
plan to
area, which is cool.
yeah, I plan to take it and like a lot of these things that are made right now, we'll try to redesign them in CAD and get them sent off to somewhere like Send Cut Send or something. Say something.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay. All right.
Testing the mics.
Yep, we're good. Yeah, my mic is good. It's my headset that my right side went out, so I had to grab my left side.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, then this needs to be kind of cleaned up a little bit. I'm gonna leave. Hopefully that is pointed the right direction.
Look, we're looking up the
Um,
ramp.
yep, up the ramp. So this is to get to the upper play field. There's actually a. See if I can lift it up right here. There's only so much room. There's actually a drop target
Oh,
going up the ramp,
the
so
blue
you'll have to
thing.
hit the drop. Yep, the little blue thing. So it may not be high enough yet.
Oh yeah, remember I tilt the camera up a little, but we can see it. That's a drop target. Oh man,
Yeah, so it's a 3D
nice.
printed drop target. I had to make it longer to come from the bottom, and it works the way it is, but it needs to be up just a little bit and still allow the ball to travel up the ramp when it is knocked down. Um, but yeah, basically the ball will hit that, come back down. You have to clear that out first before you go up the ramp, and then you'll shoot at the ramp up to the upper play field. And
Nice.
my original plan there was to do a vertical ramp with a drop target at the top of the ramp and use it as a ball lock or a transfer. And that was a little bit ambitious to try to fit in there and have enough space to do everything. So I went with the drop target mounted onto the play field, and then made it long enough to kind of come through the ramp. Um, and it
Yeah.
does work. It goes up it. I just have to clean it up a little bit more and make a little bit different mounts, but it works pretty well. Moving up to the upper play field, once you get up there, there'll be a flipper kind of right here,
Oh, okay.
angled, that will allow to be able to hit. There's a little loop here that comes out, so you'll be able to loop here. Probably put a target here, a couple targets here,
Nice.
a target to the left side of that entrance, and then there's another ramp here that I plan
Oh
to
my gosh.
put a diverter on it. I don't have it on there yet, made yet. I have to fabricate it. Is basically you'll come in this ramp here and it'll circle back around this exit here. But then if it diverts, it'll bring it out to this left side, and then I'll have it come back down to the main play field. So
That's
trying to
amazing.
make as
I
trying to
like
make as many entrances and exits as I can.
you have a really cool curvy upper playfield. What is the aesthetic inspiration for that?
Um, just wanted it to be like things in Adventure Time are kind of more, I would say, kind of like more towards
Hmm.
that aesthetic,
Yeah.
where a mountain doesn't just look like a mountain. It may be kind of weird shaped, or like even their tree house is kind of circular and weird. Doesn't look like necessarily like a real tree, but you can tell what it is. So I wanted to kind of add something there, but it actually has a purpose. So when you circle this top ramp and come back out this exit here, this is actually made for the ball to come through and come back to the flipper.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
So it serves a purpose as well,
That's the
but
part, the
wanted it
upper
to.
playfield is part of their treehouse?
No, it'll be the Ice Kingdom.
Oh,
So
nice.
yep. So there's the Ice King, which is like the main bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know if the drop target might represent him, and then you go up to his kingdom, and there's a couple different things from the show. He's got a penguin minion that works for him, that, or I guess serves him, and named Gunther. So there'll probably be some things up there that you hit Gunther or hit the Ice King to kind of to beat the Ice King for that mode, and then save a princess is probably what a lot of the main things around the upper playfield will be. Yeah, and then I mean the whole Adventure Time show is really about Finn and Jake growing up and like the different things along the way that they go through while growing up. But it's also kind of like a adventure RPG world, so a lot of cool things that can be incorporated, and a lot of cool things that you can put into modes to kind of change it up and make it different. My other game that I just started not too long ago, the Vox Machina one, is kind of the same way, where I wanted to have a bunch of different modes where you may play the game once and get a certain set of modes, and then do the same thing the next game and actually get a different set of modes. So to kind of change it up and make it different, a little bit different every time.
Nice.
But
No, that's awesome.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much the play field.
Are you
Just
gonna
to
do
kind of
anything? Well, you just said that's pretty much a playfield, but I know it's everything is kind of happening in the back of the game, and then you have a nice open front side. In some of your other games, you've had like cutouts where you have like TV screens and monitors underneath. There's just a lot of open canvas on there. Do you have any design plans for
I don't
that
have a
space?
design plan for a monitor on this one, because I mean I have a monitor in the
Sure.
BMO face on that right side of the ramp, so there is a monitor in there.
You just have so much space there. I just want to like fill it with shit.
Yeah, and
So you don't always have
there
to
may
do
be,
negative space is good.
yeah, and it might be art and inserts. So
Mhm.
there's like part of Adventure Time is collecting swords. Like Finn, the main
Ah,
character,
yeah.
collects swords. So I was thinking about having either something where you spell sword, or have different sword images on there, and you have to collect each of the sword as part of one of the modes, and then
Not
probably more
to yeah.
inserts on
Not to
this one.
overcomplicate things, but I love when games have stuff popping up from underneath. Like your ramp drop target thing is great, but I'm
Yep.
thinking like the trolls um or enemies in like the Hobbit, the trolls in Medieval Madness, where you're like they pop up and then you bash them and they go back down, some trapdoor type stuff, or even like the
Yep.
Jaws fin that moves and um or Big Buck
Yeah, there
Hunter.
could
I guess it's not
possibly
coming out of the
there's
playfield,
definitely
but
room in the middle
something
for something
moving
like
there.
that. I
Yeah.
would like to do like
Or
originally
like the
on the right
magic
side.
ball for is it Dracula that has a little magic ball that dances across the playfield?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I've thought about something popping up. I just don't. I haven't come up with anything yet. I would like to have something that pops up from the playfield that has a spinner,
Oh, okay. Well, like Led Zeppelin had that.
kind of like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Yeah, something similar to that. But yeah, and I kept trying to figure out. I wanted something similar to like the truck in Jurassic Park
Oh,
with
yeah,
the ball
sure.
that spins, and I
Yeah.
was trying to figure out somewhere to do that. So maybe something that pops
Ah.
up like that. I think there's definitely room there for something to pop up. I would like something that spins, but not just a lot of people do the spinner with the magnet, kind of like a TNT or whatever. I would like something that actually pops up and does something.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, definitely there's room there to do something for sure. But
I like it.
yep, so that's kind of the play field. There is some more stuff that I've got to add on there, some targets and some different things. Um,
Oh, we're going under. Oh, no, we just fell.
yep, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I dropped my microphone.
I was like, cool, we're gonna see something going on underneath.
No, but I was gonna go up to the back box and just kind of show off some of the fast
Yeah, let's check it out.
hardware.
Let's check out the hardware
So
for sure. I love these board
yep.
mounts that you've created too. These 3D printed.
Yeah, well, so I didn't create these. These were done by, I believe, John Cross. There's a couple people
Nice.
that have done them. They're on Thingiverse, so they're free to use and download. I believe it was John Cross that did these specific ones, but there's also some that what's the other guy's name? I know John Marsh did some, so Spaceballs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he has a set on there too, but I think these are the ones that John Cross did. Um, but yeah, just to kind of walk through, you have the main controller. This is the Neuron board from Fast. This kind of has this is your main controller that has the USB that connects to a PC. Right now, I've got it running off of a gaming laptop, but eventually there will be a small mini PC mounted in here that it connects to. Um, that also has some light connections here. So if you have some lighting in the back box, like on Box Mock, and I have one that comes off of there for some 12-volt lighting in the back box just to light it up. So I'll probably do something like that on here. You have all your connections. So these are the main input output IO lines that run down to the playfield. So those actually run down into the cabinet and connect to interconnect board that's at the back of the playfield to make it to where it's easy to disconnect and take out the playfield. Then you have some expansion things here that go to they call them expansion boards, but it's like an LED board. So they have one board that does 256 serial LEDs. They have one that does, I think it's 128 LEDs and steppers, 4 steppers, and they're working on some other items too that they keep bringing different boards to their shop. That some may have a motor, some may have 2 motors, some may have a couple steppers with LEDs. So they're continuously bringing new things. They're working with a lot of commercial manufacturers as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
we're as a home brewer, we're benefiting from them doing that because we're having access. We get access to things that we may not have if a commercial customer hadn't requested it or wasn't using it. The board below it is their audio board. So it actually has an audio interface that will connect to the speakers up here. I don't have the speakers installed yet. It has an onboard amp. So you connect to the mini PC with just an auxiliary cable, and then you do your speakers out from here. It also has a LCD control.
Oh, wow.
So you can actually wire it to control an LCD, so like brightness and different things like that, which is pretty cool. And you would be able to do that just from like your menu buttons in your coin door. And it even has a headphone input, so you can have a connection run to the front where you can plug a headphone in. And they've got that all figured out with the Mission Pinball framework software so that it works well with it. Over to the right, we have power filter board. So this is where your 110 comes into your like 48-volt power supply and a 12-volt power supply. That's the 2 voltages that Fast uses. Then it goes into the power filter board. You have your 48-volt, your grounds, your 12-volt come in, and then from there they go out to the playfield to the interconnect board. They have, let's see, dropping stuff. One of my headphones dropped out.
Just
Not having
staple
very
it to
good
your
luck.
ear.
I know I'm going to need to. They also do have a connection here, so they have it set up to where you can. I have it bypassed right now because I don't have the wire in, but you can actually run that to the switch at the coin door. So, like if you open the coin door, it'll disable the 48-volt. So, very similar to any of the commercial games. I'm actually going to put the camera down for a second.
Yeah, put them down. Put it down.
And
give us a good shot, though.
Well, maybe looking at my
Oh, yeah,
shelf.
we got some trophies. Let's see.
Yeah,
it's just
see.
Me. No.
Yeah, the trophies, I think, if I can get it to go up a little bit more.
I think you killed the camera.
Yeah. I'm trying to do it one-handed. Oh.
There you go. This is our intermission screen.
Nope.
So yeah, y'all, I just dropped a link in the chat to fastpinball.com. You can see all the hardware they have. available, and there's lots of links to how to get involved with homebrew and custom pinball making, how to connect with all of us, and kind of a little step-by-step guide to get you to start building stuff. It's fun.
Yep. I'm gonna lift the play field, so I'm working on that.
Oh, lifting it.
I'm also trying to find my other headphone that I dropped.
So y'all, we plan on streaming several episodes with Ernie leading up to Expo. Pinball Expo is October, I want to say 15th to the 19th. Um, and the stream we'll be tapping into his computer and getting a few more cameras in there so we can get some nice, good quality stream going. And then yeah, hopefully we're streaming next weekend too, in person. That way I can bust out my big boy cameras. Yeah, Expo is 15th to the 19th. I got it right. Ernie's setting up. Did we lose Ernie?
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Oh no, yeah, he's here. It's good noise cancellation on your headphones. Oh, he's coming back, y'all.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm on the wrong.
Oh, nice.
Oh, let me leave that one. I got both my laptops. I've got the one turn. I was on the wrong laptop.
I was like, yeah, new angle, sweet.
Okay. So
All right,
let me know. That should be better.
we're back. Look at all of that. My goodness.
So I guess I'll start from the bottom.
Sure.
And kind of walk through. All right, so we have a board down here mounted to the bottom. That's the interconnect.
Tilt up a little bit. I know you don't have really a viewfinder on your webcam, but
yeah, now their computer's lagging or is behind. Is that better?
Yeah, we can see the little sliver board. It's great.
Okay, so you got the interconnect board here. This is these bottom connections are coming from the back box, and then the top connections are all going to various places on the play field. That carries the 48 volt over the 12 volt, and then the I/O connections, the input output connections, back to the main controller, so that Mission Pinball, when a switch is made, it sends it back and tells it, hey, your switch is touching, flip a flipper or score a point.
Gotcha.
To the left side, we have a small little board here that is a opto board. So a lot of your optos are actually 1.2, 1.3 volts, since we only have 12 volts and 48 volts, and then 5 volt. We do have 5 volts for LEDs, but Fast does that kind of through their system. We have these little opto boards that takes the 12 volt into it and then uses resistors to step down to the 1.2, 1.3 volts. Moving over to the right side, just to talk Fast board. This one's mounted vertically because I needed space right there. This is a 16/16 I/O board, so that's input output. So you have 16 switch inputs and then 16 coil outputs. And I'd say most games you probably end up with a 16/16, a 3208, which is 32 switches and 8 coils, and then a 0804, which is 8 switches and 4 coils.
How many coils do you expect to have in this game?
1, 2, 3, probably 8, 12. I'd say close to 24, maybe a little bit more, but
nice.
Like each, so I'll have 4 flippers in the game, and
Right.
each flipper is two coils because you have the full power that's on it, and then you have a hold winding on it. So that takes up two of the drivers, and then every
Ah.
other coil takes one. You know, and there's the two slingshots. There's a subway buck. There's two drop target banks. There's a pop bumper. There's three smart drop targets. Um, there is a buck back here as well for the treehouse, and then there will be a up post and a diverter that's going to be added, and then that the four flippers I still fourth flipper is the upper playfield flipper, which will be mounted below, and then it'll have a rod that comes up.
Right.
Um, and I would say that that's, I mean, you can surely make a game
Oh,
that
you
has
could
less
probably use
coils than that.
the no fear flipper rod.
I don't. I think those are 6 inches,
N-
and I think it's a little bit taller than 6 inches from
Is it
my
only?
upper playfield.
Ooh.
Um, so I'll what I'll do is
Yeah,
I'll
custom.
take two flippers. Yep, I'll take two flippers. I will weld a rod in between the two to make it where it needs to be, and then
Whoa.
so you'll have your regular size flipper rod, you know, at the top and at the bottom. But then in between that, it'll be close. It may not be perfect, but
Oh, I see what you
it
mean.
won't really matter.
Yeah, it's
Yep,
like flipper shape on rod at the bottom, flipper shape rod at the top, and then just arbitrary metal connecting them.
yep, yep. And it'll be outside the playfield. It's on the outside of the right orbit, so it's not. It won't interfere with anything or mess with anything.
Cool.
Um, yeah, talked about the boards. So these are the IO boards. This is the 3208. This is the 0804. And then this is your one of the expansion boards. This one will do 256 LEDs, serial LEDs.
Do you ever feel like you need more than 256, or is that like a very plentiful number?
I would say for most games, 256 is probably fine, but there are games that have used more. I think Saw has more than that, if
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not mistaken. I know the Harry Potter game is going to have a lot more than that, but 256 is quite a bit.
Yeah, it seems like a really big number, but it's like it goes fast, right? Like,
Yeah, and and there's ways to use more too. So like what I do in a lot of my large arrows is I actually use three LEDs
oh, okay, so it's like fully
per,
arrowed. Yeah,
yeah, so that it, you
fully
know, you
lit.
can do motions on the arrows, and I've done that I think on all my games. So you can make a motion effect on the arrows.
Oh, that's cool.
Some of the if you have bigger circle inserts, you can actually do multiple on those to where you could do like a circling motion. I think Brian Cox, that I mean, he's done a ton of custom games.
Yeah.
He's got it to where he's got, I think, even like small circles. He's got it to where he can make them circle and go around and do a bunch of cool stuff. So I mean, really, the sky's the limit. You can do more than 256 LEDs. You just have to have a couple different boards.
What type of LEDs do you find yourself using? Like the little board LEDs, like a
Yeah,
Yopsicle or glow
so
sticks, or
Fast actually has LED boards that they sell. They're WS
oh, nice.
2812, I think, is the actual LED number, which is very common in like different serial LED applications. There's Christmas lights that use the same serial
Oh yeah, cool. I see
LED,
them. Nice.
so it's pretty common. Yeah, and then they even have I don't think I have any mounted on here yet, but they have GI lighting that has the little
Right.
has the light board, and then it has a small light rod, I guess is what you would call it, that goes
Oh
through the
yeah.
GI hole, similar to the kind of how
I'll
the
drop that
commercial
link in the
manufacturers
chat
do it.
too, 'cause that is pretty cool. Nice.
But yeah, and then Fast, I mean, they have boards for like your trough system. So like they have a board on here that's made for their system, which even has a small jump off to your plunger switch, which is, you know, just makes wiring a lot easier because you're only going, you know, a couple inches versus having to wire it all the way back to the main controller. And
Now,
it helps with, oh, go ahead.
not necessarily that you would, but if it's an option, like with the fast boards, are you limited to using fast LEDs, or could you put any sort of
No,
LEDs
you
and
could put
connect to it?
you could put any LEDs. Like a lot of people will make their own LED boards.
Oh wow.
So it's a serial protocol. I think protocol is the right word for that. And it's WS2812. It's pretty common
Gotcha.
across multiple manufacturers of that type of LED. Like you can go to Amazon and type WS2812, and it'll bring up every different type of LED strip, individual LEDs. And then what a lot of people do is they'll actually make like custom LED boards where it's a full PCB, similar to what a lot of the newer manufacturers are doing, where it's instead of having individual boards, it's one big board with all the LEDs mounted on it, so that you only have to
Right.
wire a connection once versus having to wire each individual LED.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's some stuff down here in the bottom of the cabinet, so disregard that. But you even have
Ooh.
they have a cabinet board. Um, so this would handle all of your cabinet connections. So like your flipper buttons, which they have a I don't know if the light's super great right there. Let me move
Oh, we can
this.
see. Oh yeah, a little flipper button board. Cool.
Yep. So that's an opto board, and it's actually
Kind of
dual
like a
stage. So like
Fliptronic
you can,
system.
if you press it the right way. So like right now, it's seeing the first switch and then the second
Oh,
switch, so you
nice.
can actually see the little LEDs going. And what you can do with that, like on my left side, I have the two flippers. If I flip this, it actually only will flip the bottom flipper. And then once the second light comes on, then it's the set top flipper. So if you push it hard, they both come on at the same time. But if you do it soft enough, you can kind of stage it to where if you
Nice.
didn't want the top one to go, you can do that. And
Very
then, yeah, and
cool.
the cabinet board has a connection for the cabinet. So it does the coin collectors. So it has a ability to, if you wanted to charge for the game and, make a little money, you can actually hook up the coin. You can hook up the menu buttons on the door are all through there to control like volume. Mission Pinball has it set up to where you can actually go into a service menu. So you open the door, service menu pops up, goes through, all the menus. You can change your pulse settings for your coils through it. So you can set it up you can make it look exactly like a commercial game if you took the time and coded everything.
That's awesome.
I think that is pretty much it on the actual play
Yay.
field. I can put it down and I can flip it for a minute if we want to do that.
Yeah, let's check it out. Um, I'm just so amazed. It's just this was literally just a some pieces of wood and a pile of parts like 3 weeks ago. You've come so far.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, let's
I
see
have
what
fun doing
happens.
it. The making and coming
See,
up with the
like
layout
literally
and the
3 weeks.
design
Yeah.
is it's probably my favorite part, is coming up with the layout and design and coming up with the shots. Let's see.
Yeah, that's exciting. And this is your fourth
Yeah,
custom
this will
game?
be the fourth one.
Nice. Could you read out your pinography, like your discography?
Oh, the first one was League of Legends. Um, I started that one, I guess that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And then I did Beavis and Butthead, and then Vox Machina, which is based on the Amazon Prime show. And I'm still doing that one, so that one actually will be pretty cool. It's got two play fields. It's got an upper play field and a lower play field. So your upper play field's like the main thing, main play field, and then the lower play field is like 18 inches by 32 inches, I think. So you got almost like two full play fields instead of like a small, like Haunted House is a pretty small lower play field. It's bigger than most of them, but it's
Right.
still fairly small. This one I'll have the ability to actually do have a multi-ball on both of them. So like upper end player. So I plan to have like
Whoa.
a 10 ball multi-ball where you have 5 balls up top and five balls on a lower play field. Just as a fun mode, not something that's like super serious. But
Chaos. I love it. That's awesome. Very cool. So Ernie wanted to also show us the software he's using to do some programming and kind of walk us through the
yeah,
back
do you want me to
end.
do that first before I
Oh,
flip it, or
oh
do you want me to
yeah,
flip
yeah,
it?
yeah. I don't know.
Either
Uh,
way is fine for me.
yeah, maybe let's see the code and then like the last huzzah will be you flipping the game.
Okay, sounds good. I was checking something real quick.
Yep. And
So
this
I'll
is
just share my.
Mission Pinball Framework.
Yep. So I'm gonna swap to this camera
Nice, nice. Hello.
and
We
then
can see
share
all
my.
of Ernie's homebrew awards behind him,
Yeah,
his
two.
accolades.
The
Two.
second place over here for Expo, where Sean Irby beat me,
Well, I
and
mean,
then this is from Southern Fried for Beavis and Butthead.
very cool.
Let's see. So I should be sharing my screen.
Alrighty, I'm gonna swap over. Let's see. Brr, brr, brr. Now the chat's in my face. Okay.
Actually, hold on. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share it a little bit differently. Should still be the same screen, but
Sweet. Actually, I can see it on Zoom right here. Okay, that's the right coloring. I was just making sure I wasn't losing anything green. I have a green screen color key, so if you have lots of stuff on your software that's green, then it'll show up
oh,
black.
it'll
But
filter it out.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I don't think I have too much green on
Okay.
here. So this is Godot. I think that's the way you're supposed to say it. It's spelled Godot, and I was saying Godot, and I had multiple people correct me and tell me that it was not Godot.
What
So
is
it's either Godot or Godot, but
Godot?
that is a it's basically a video game engine that people use to build video games. Anthony Van Winkle has taken it and made it work with Mission Pinball Framework. So prior to this, there was they were using something called a media controller, which was Kivy based um, program, and you were very limited on. I shouldn't say limited. It was very hard to make a screen that had a lot going on without driving yourself absolutely insane, because it was like if you had a image of a widget that you wanted on your screen, you actually had to figure out what XY coordinates it was supposed to be at, and the only way to really see if it looked right or not was to actually play the game, start it, walk through whatever step that was. So if it was something like in the middle of a mode that you wanted to check, you actually had to go through all those steps to check that. And if it wasn't right, then you had to move it, start all over again. So it's pretty time consuming. Now on Godot, there's a user interface to where, like, this is my base mode screen. There is a video background that actually plays again behind this. The video doesn't show, but then
Mm-hmm.
you have like the main player score. Yeah, I have a spot for each player. Spot for like what ball that player's on, which player is actually his turn it is, and then there'll be then you can actually have like some other widgets that pop up or videos, different things like that.
Nice.
So that's kind of like the user interface side of it, and it's pretty drag and drop. So like this is, if I was going to add something, I would just, if I wanted to add a picture, it's called a sprite 2D. You would
Right.
add that to it, click it, and then it gives you the option over here once it's added to actually go here and select the image. So you can just load it, go through all the images, and you can pick a different one and put it on there. And then once you put it on there, you can actually take it and you can drag and drop it anywhere you want. And that once you start up the game or put it in there, it actually will be where you put it at, and it'll be in the correct spot. And then
That's for like
really,
video display? Like,
yep, that would be for the video display.
nice.
And and the only thing that I'm having to code for that is, so this is Mission Pinball. This is a YAML file, which is a Python based config file. So this is for the base mode. Each mode has like start events, so it tells it when to start. So like this would start every time that the ball starts, the base mode starts. You have a slide player, which that's what that base slide that I created would be. So when my base mode starts, the name of that slide is base, and I tell it to play. So it would put it on the screen anytime the ball started, which I should be able to show that.
Oh yeah, maybe we're in the way. Let's see. Yeah, Captain Retro says it's like reading hieroglyphics, and I'm not too far
Yeah,
from that.
I
Like,
think Captain Retro just.
How do you learn? How did you learn how to use this software? I guess.
Um, so I went to school for computer engineering, so I do have somewhat of a programming background. Very, very minimal in the sense of what I actually learned in school, which is applied here. But the basic knowledge of code I kind of already had. And over my course of being just a hobbyist, I've made like iPhone apps and different things like that. So I would say that I had a minimal working knowledge of how to code and what code is. But anybody that codes knows that you can look at one type of code versus another, and they're completely different. The idea of inputs and outputs are all the same, but the way to get there is completely different. So there is a Mission Pinball website that has documentation on it, that has a lot of the things that you're going to put in your game. They have kind of an explanation of what it is, and then they have a section that kind of shows how the code should be set up. Now,
Oh, so
those
I can
are
like copy and paste it and then just manipulate
there
it.
is some, yes, there is
That's
some
cool.
copying and pasting that you can do. And I would say that some of the documentation on there is a little bit outdated, but it is continually being updated. There's Anthony Van Winkle. There's Brian Madden. Both kind of, they're more with the fast team, but they've been putting in the time into MPF and the documents to try to get that updated and even get like this Godot going and working. So there's still a lot of stuff in there that does work that you can copy and paste, but there's some of it is probably listed out very minimally, and there's a couple different groups. If you purchase a fast system or fast products, they have a Slack group that you get access to,
You
and
have to be
it's
working on a game. You have to be making a game.
yeah, for fast they want you to have purchased their product, and I don't think that that's a bad approach, in that you get people in there that are actually working on something that can bounce ideas off each other and help. I have a Discord, which is Trident. I think it's Trident Homebrew. I'll have to get the exact name, which maybe we can put in the comments after, or even the link.
On Slack or Discord? Sorry.
No, it's on Discord.
On Discord? Nice.
Yep, and I think you're actually in that Discord, Moto. Pretty sure
Yeah,
you
I
are.
think so. I'm
Yep.
worst on Discord. I need to work on my Discord etiquette.
Yeah.
There's just so many services.
So, and the Discord is open to anybody, any product, any person, whether they're building, not building. I've got it broken up into different sections. So it's got like a coding section, a video section, a sound section, a build design section, a build log section. I have it broken up, and there's people there that if you have questions about code, they can normally help get you part of the way. And there's a lot of people, like I've shared my code from different games with tons of people, just as a reference to say, hey, this may not be the best way to code it, but this will at least get you, 80% of the way there, or at least give you an idea of how you should be able to make something work.
Yep.
Um,
I found it, so I'm going to drop a invite link into the chat so y'all can join up. That's awesome. Ooh,
so I'm gonna
wow.
see if I
Oh,
can.
that's the Harry Potter thing you were talking about?
Yeah, probably if you're looking at it.
Whoa.
So I'm sure everybody hopefully can they see my screen. That's probably pop. It's a little lagging on my side,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
so this is like the track mode. So this is what I have coded in as a video
Ah,
that
look at
it
that.
just walks through some of the um, different entrances. And then this is my base mode. So this is what I was showing um, on the screen. There's a background video that kind of plays as you're playing. And then
Ah, okay.
got on the bottom side, that's where your score would be. So if you hit a switch and score a point, that number would change at 0, 0 would, add up as you go. And this is a work in progress. I don't know if this is how it'll stay. The background will probably stay for the main screen, but the rest of it may
I love
change.
it.
And then
Feels
the
so
idea
magical.
would be the four windows at top would be kind of like player one to the left. The second one would be player two. If it's only a one-player game, then the other three would say like press start.
Can you
And
add a camera integration like the Raw Thrills games where you're like racing in the new Cruising Worlds or Cruising USA
oh,
and it
and have it. I'm
or
sure
like the
there's a way to
Mario
do it.
Kart, yeah, it takes your picture and then puts your icon, your photo icon at the
Yeah,
top.
I'm sure it would be cool to do that. Take a picture and then put
Yeah.
like little Adventure Time hats or something
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on people's faces. I mean, I'm sure it could be done,
But
but
will you do it?
we'll just have to see. It is a pretty cool idea. I would like to do a camera on one. I think I always look like an idiot when my picture pops up
No,
on
but that's the fun
the
part.
Jersey Jack
Yeah.
games, but and
Oh, the
I would be
Jersey Jack one.
lying
I know
if
the timing.
yeah,
I always try to get the timing on it. It's never right. So you're like, "Ugh," or just
yeah, no,
angry looking.
I try to look like a dummy when I do it. Like I make, really stupid looking face. It's not real
Sure.
hard. It's not real hard for me to do that.
That's the best part.
Um, but yeah, so this we just seen that UI screen.
Mhm.
So this was that, in practice, that was how it was working. So this allows you to pretty much drag and drop your user interface. And it's, once you get one screen, you can basically copy that screen and then move on to another screen and paste it and change a couple things. Um, so it's pretty cool. Trying
That's
to
awesome.
think what
Yeah, if y'all
else.
have any questions for Ernie, drop them in the chat. Captain Retro asked, "How far away is ChatGPT from helping me write feasible code for my labyrinth?"
It can actually it can help. Um, it'll actually, if you write in there, write me a code to configure a flipper for a Mission Pinball framework.
It'll come up.
Can,
Yeah?
it'll actually come up. Yeah, it'll actually come up and say, it'll. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but it's pretty close.
Yeah. And so y'all know Captain Retro, he made a homebrew labyrinth several years ago before the Barrels of Fun labyrinth. So he's not talking about changing code on the Barrels of Fun game, but his actual labyrinth game, which is great. And we want you to bring it back to Southern Fried soon, Kevin, next year, please. Yeah, he says, I love how Ernie integrates screens into his playfield, and the new one with the full-size basement playfield is insanely cool. Yeah, at Expo, are you planning on bringing all of your projects?
Um, I don't know if I'll bring all of them, but I am definitely bringing Adventure Time and Vox Machina. So
Nice.
the two newest ones. I have a surprise game that I'm bringing that I can't share. That
Oh, yeah, cool.
is, I think,
We
will
love
blow
surprises.
people. Yeah, well, it'll blow people's minds. So
And that one has the photo integration
Yeah,
into. I'm just
yeah, it
kidding.
has a photo integration. No, if I can fit my other games easy enough, yeah, I'll probably bring the other two. I did have one coil give me some trouble at Southern Fried with League of Legends, so I haven't even messed with it yet. It's still packaged and hadn't even been set back up yet. So
It's only been a
we'll
few weeks.
see. Yeah, we'll see if that one comes or not. Beavis and Butthead's ready to go, but we'll see. I may bring, if I have room, I'll probably bring it. If not, it may get left. Um, do we want to see it flipping some?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see it. We got time. We got time if you got time.
This camera back over.
So y'all, if y'all are in the southeast or want to travel to the southeast next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we will be at the Columbia Convention Center in Columbia, South Carolina for Soda City Comic Con, and you can see this game in the flesh at our game hall.
Let me see. I think one of my lights is facing down.
Nice fireplace. This is Ernie's secret lair, by the way.
It is.
So.
I should have showed that before, but I actually have a hidden room back there that walks through a bookshelf to my pinball room.
That's like every pinball person's dream.
But that room is, I got to redo the flooring and it's not done yet, and everything's kind of everywhere. But I guess I could show before I start this my bar. So this is like a little
Ooh.
speakeasy type thing. I don't even drink that much. I drink like
Just that show.
2 drinks like a month or something like that. So unless we're at shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I start mixing drinks. I play the bartender.
You're the best bartender. That's what they all tell me. They're like, man,
No,
Ernie
I have
just
fun. I
made
have
me the
more fun.
best drink. How many times I've had people come up to me and like, Ernie just made me the best drink ever. Oh my gosh.
And I have more fun
I
mixing
hope
it and
they're
making
tipping
it
you.
than I do. I guess it washes out over. Like Southern Fried, everybody
Tip
brought
your
alcohol.
bartender.
Like I brought alcohol, but everybody else brought alcohol too. So I ended up coming home with like 2 or 3 extra bottles
That's your tip.
of
Fair.
stuff.
Nice.
But let me see. I'm gonna try to maneuver this a little bit better.
And
That look all right? Does that kind of show everything?
we're missing the upper playfield, which arguably is where all the action happens. Maybe if you go higher and further back, maybe?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me maneuver this.
If you're on a tripod. We're gonna get you some good gear so we can continue streaming. I have some stuff I can let you borrow rigging wise so we can get a
is
good game.
is that Captain Retro?
Yeah, he said, I have a Barrels of Fun Labyrinth on order. Yay, congrats. Awesome game. He goes, I won't be messing with this program. And he is designing a Voltron and a Thundercats game at the moment and trying to get Ernie to let me in on the ground floor of Trident.
He wants me to open my own pinball company. That's what he
Oh.
keeps trying to get me to do.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there you go. Do it.
Can you kind of see everything there? I think we're pretty.
Yes, except the flippers, but
I don't know that the flippers really matter as much.
no, yeah, I think this is nice. It is nice.
So I'll try to. I said I was
If
gonna
you
shoot the
if
ball, but
you start like missing your shot, since we don't see the flippers, you could throw the ball and then we'll be like, "Dang, Ernie's such a good shot."
yeah, I think I'm worse at that. To be honest, the ball's going. Let's see. I'll try to hit.
Oh, almost went up there.
Let's see. We'll try to hit the. That's.
When you program, do you have like a consistent power level number for your flipper coils? Or is
I
it just
normally.
depend on the game?
It depends on the game. So I normally start off somewhere like right around 20 milliseconds. So it's in milliseconds.
Okay.
For the pulse, I start out at 20. I think these are like, I think the right one is 24 and the left one is 28.
And
So I
higher
needed the
means
left
more
one.
power, or?
Yeah, higher means more power. So I did that because it needed just a little bit more oomph to get up the upper playfield.
Right.
Let's see.
And are there specific flipper coils that you always use for your flippers?
Yeah, so I normally use the Williams. I
Mm.
think it's the 11629. I think is the flipper coil. That's the dual lug, so you have both windings. It has the hold winding and the full power winding.
Right.
Whereas versus like a stern coil, modern stern coil only has two lugs, and they use the system to PWM the hold. Can be done either way with Mission Pinball. To me, the safer way to do it is to use the dual lug coils because it actually has a separate hold coil that
No.
pops on when you hold the flipper, so there's a lot less
Ah.
likely chance that anything burns up.
Okay.
So that vertical ramp, I just backhanded it. I know you can't see the flipper, so you didn't know it was backhanded.
The skills.
If I can, I'm not gonna be able to do it again. That's backhanding that, and then I'll try to hit that spinner. So that is that spinner right there in the center.
Nice.
I don't have these drop targets hooked up yet, but I'll pop them up.
Get up there.
I'm gonna knock it down with that. But
Oh, nice. Yeah, lots of ricocheting targets, which is really cool.
see if I can make that top cannon up there. Target for the door.
Get in there.
That. Yeah, so that's a ricochet that I'll have to figure out a way to block so it can't happen during the game where it jumped into the wire form, but nope.
Oh, I should be a pinball? So. Okay. Yeah. I'll make it to the upper playfield. Whee! Haha, I made it. My hero strength is strong enough.
And then again.
I'll be on the TV screen.
Make it up.
There you go. Nice.
Like I said, there is a entrance here. Since I am using my hand for that. There's an entrance right there.
How would you get into that entrance? Through the
you would
right
hold the left flipper and shoot it from the right.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Where the flipper lifts up. Little, like, trap door sort of thing.
Yeah, and then just to kind of show, because I don't know if I can consistently hit it or not, but
Jake asked, have you ever used kicking targets?
So I actually had a kicking target on this shot where the Jersey Jack 3-ball lock is. I had a kicker target back there, but it was one from a Gottlieb touchdown, and I don't know if it was just old and worn, but it's like if the ball was going too fast, it would not kick fast enough. No matter how I adjusted the switch, I couldn't get it to work consistently. So I ended up changing it out for the Jersey Jack, which I like the Cannon better, but I did have one in there.
Sounds exciting.
So this is 2 smart drops here. I'll likely have an octo there so that you can I can use it as a ball lock too. But then once you get into it, it actually fires it up and into the center piece back here. It's kind of some action on the slingshot and the pop bumper. I've got to add some posts and some rubbers here. Trying to think.
Did you fire the cannon? Is the cannon hooked up?
Yeah. Yep. I
can
fired
I see it again? I want to see it.
Yep.
I want to see it.
If I can make it with a shot. Maybe. So that's in there.
Oh, yeah. Look at. Wow. That was cool. Do it again. That felt good. I'm not even playing it. It felt good. How did it even do that? That was awesome.
Oh, come on.
Nice. That's
We'll try to show. Let me see if I can get through here without knocking something over. Show the left flipper up here, but I got to move this around just a little bit. Oh, come on. There's a mount back here that I don't have on here right now, so it's making it kind of a pain.
Moved it, but I didn't move with it.
Let's see if we can. That'll probably work for that. So the idea would be that you would do the left orbit and shoot it on to there, but that's the entrance to that back ramp back there.
Oh, right.
That's one path you can take, is that Princess Bubblegum ramp, and let's see if I can make it up the
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
This is. I need to get all my rubbers and ball stops and all that set up. So that just play it and try it.
Yeah, wait till next weekend. It'll give you something to do at the show on Saturday.
Yeah, works out in some targets. There is a subway entrance here, so if the ball falls in there, it actually comes out down here.
Oh.
The ball has a path to get out if it doesn't come out the left side here. Watch me not be able to hit the train one.
Whee.
No, we're gonna start losing viewers because they're sick of me trying the same shot over and over.
No. This is like very exciting. Yeah, thanks for taking the time to show us this game too. It's always fun to see stuff in the working state and watching the evolution of it. It's exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some people that design everything out in CAD first, which is that's super great. I did design this layout just in CAD first, with the initial idea. But for me, the fun part is actually putting stuff on the playfield and saying, "Oh, well, yeah, that works," or no, I need to move it over a quarter of an inch.
Yeah. And even if like bringing it to shows in like the Whitewood state is always super exciting to see as a show participant. I know when you're working on a project, a lot of people want to like wait for the finished, complete, box project and bring it out. But like, no, bring it in the working states. Work it at the show with everyone and stuff. It makes it very interactive and it's inspiring too because you can see some of these games in their final state are just beautiful works of art that took hours and hours and hours to make, but to see
people love playing Whitewood.
Yeah, it feels very special. I mean, that's how I got into really digging this homebrew and custom games thing because it was like playing the Whitewood for what was still called Total Annihilation, Scott Denise's game at TPF in 2015 or 16, and it was just like, wait, what is this? There's Sharpie written on here, and then this is like, oh my god, this is like the funnest game ever, And then watching it evolve, like we all kind of feel like a part of that journey because you've seen it in the like a more skeleton phase, and then as it gets layered and stuff.
Yeah, fun fact. I'd say Scott Denisi. Oh, I just hit it. So
yeah, that was beautiful.
I did just hit the.
That was beautiful.
Scott Denisi is actually my favorite designer.
Oh, absolutely.
Same. Rick and Morty's my favorite pinball machine.
Scott Denisi is number one.
Huge shout out also to to Spooky
Come pinball.
Bug for giving me I needed an extra 3-drop target bank at Southern Fried for this game, and because the one I had didn't work correctly, and they actually I tried to pay him for it. He wouldn't let me pay him for it. Gave me one. So super
That's
super
awesome.
cool of Bug from Spooky.
Yeah, they're great, great
So
people.
I did tell him that's at the final part of the game. I am gonna have like a little ghost or something somewhere
Oh, cute. Yeah, you have
around
to,
that target.
for sure. I like it.
But
What is this other screen down here? Awesome. That was really cool. Thank you so much for showing us. So, let's talk a little bit about you, Ernie. How did you get into making your own games? Like, how did you get into pinball? One, when did you get into pinball, and how did it take you to where you are today?
so I got into pinball kind of during COVID. I had a machine when I was I don't know, probably 7, 8 years old. We had one at the house, but and I cannot remember what game it was, honestly, for the life of me. But I remember that to get it to go, and it must have been that the shooter lane didn't work because you had to take the glass off to play it. Um, so that's kind of like my origin story with that. But had always loved pinball, and we'd go to the arcade and I'd play it. Fast forward to kind of during COVID, I've always been a hobbyist and gaming computers and emulators and ROMs and things like that.
Mm.
And got into virtual pinball. So I built my own machine. Actually bought one, and then from there built my own, and then wanted a rail one. And I'd say that was kind of the beginning of where prices went like extremely crazy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't super obtainable for me to buy a brand new one. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just build my own and see how it is. So I actually bought original plan was to do a retheme, and bought a Gottlieb touchdown. It was the full game, didn't work, and then kind of got messing with that and looking at it, and I'm like, man, this is kind of boring. Not just because it's no ramps. There's not
Sure.
only
Yeah,
so
it's
much that I could
basic.
do with it. So I was
Yeah.
like, at that point I already knew I wanted to do a League of Legends pinball machine because I've played that game since like the first year it came out. I've played it for 12. I don't play it so as much anymore, but I played it from the original time it came out, and over 10, 12 years. It was like no brainer for me. That was what I was going to do. So I was like, I really need something that has ramps and has some more stuff to it. So then kind of just got looking on Facebook and actually found the Strictly Custom group that Jake put on there, and then from there found out that there was controllers and there was files that you could find of Whitewoods and different things from there. And being a hobbyist and doing it before, I think I've said this before at a talk, and I didn't just step into it. I like dove head first, right into the
Yeah, no
shallow end of the
joke.
pool.
You sure did.
But so I found a local CNC guy that I sent him a lower third file to cut me a whitewood. Fun fact, he's the guy that still cuts my whitewoods and for that I sell as part of Trident Homebrew.
Nice.
So had never cut a pinball piece of anything before, and he's got where he can cut the playfields pretty good. So pretty exciting. We tried to do cabinets, but he ended up selling the shop, and cabinets are hard, so I've moved away from doing cabinets. But so got the whitewood. I'm getting sidetracked, but
No, it's
got the
good.
whitewood,
Yeah.
got it in the house. Started off with a bunch of used parts, and I
Mhm.
think it was the League of Legends is a Cobra pin. So
Oh,
started out with
nice.
Cobra pin.
Yeah. They
Got
have
that.
cool
Got it
controllers.
flipping. I bought a Adams Family ramp off of eBay, and I actually cut that in half. So originally, that's kind of what League of Legends was based on. I had the right half of that ramp
Ah.
to the right side and built a wire form that came off of that, and then the left side was the left ramp that kind of came up and came back down to the left side. So started off there, and that's kind of what the design was based around. And then I went to Portal Pinball, which
Yeah.
is
I
local
love
to
that
me.
spot. Yeah.
And fun
Hi,
fact
John. Thanks for
there,
joining
his
us.
his aunt is actually my aunt as well.
You're
So we're
related to
related, but
Brian
not.
Broyles?
Yeah,
And
Yeah, so
Lance? Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
and Lance. It's through
Yeah.
marriage, so it's through
No, that's
marriage. So it's not
okay.
blood related. But
Yeah, that's
no, yeah,
awesome.
found that out. So went down there a lot. Played a bunch of different games on virtual pinball, and I kind of just found out, what kind of things from a game do I like. I like originally I liked that, games that had the 4 entrances to the top into the pop bumpers with like skill shots and things like that. League of Legends uses computer keyboard QWER, so it was perfect for League of Legends. I could use that for the QWER. So that was kind of where I started, and then just played games and kind of would put things on there with cardboard or 3D printed stuff. Would shoot it if it felt right. I would keep it, and I think League of Legends probably went through like 8 or 9 different iterations
Nice.
before I got a direct to wood print and playfield and it was complete. But since it was complete, I've actually changed all the ramps again. So now I would say it's closer to being complete. I'm actually going to swap to fast pinball on that game as well, just so that all my games are the same system.
Hmm.
Um, no, nothing. Cobra Pin does a great job.
Yeah, let's
Fast
talk
Pinball does it.
about let's skew for a second and talk about the Cobra pin boards and the fast pin boards because they're both great products, but they have a little bit different pathways to them,
Yep.
you
So
know.
I would say Cobra Pin kind of has everything all on one board. So your power filter board, your switches, your coils, um, everything is all on one board,
It's super cool.
which is nice because it's all everything in one really affordable package.
Hmm.
Um,
It's
and
like a
you can
great
kind of you can get,
starter package, right,
yeah,
for
it's
making
an
homebrew.
awesome great starter package when it comes to, because it's I can't remember the exact cost. I think it's $175, and I could be wrong. It might be a little bit more than that. But it's a nice package to start off. Um, I would say that one you got to kind of think where you're going to mount it, because everything has to run to that board. So I had originally mounted that in the bottom of my cabinet, so I had to run all of my cables from the back of the playfield down to the cabinet. And there's ways to do it. I would say I did it probably the wrong way to start out,
Hmm.
just from not knowing and having to learn as I go down the road. Um, Now that is actually mounted on my playfield, so it's actually mounted to the bottom of the playfield, so the runs are a lot shorter, wiring wise. Um,
Mm, gotcha.
but yeah, no, nothing but good stuff about the Cobra Pin. I've my 3 other games have all been fast,
Well,
and
fast is so
so the
almost like
fast
to me like
system
the evolution, right? Like you want to do more
yeah,
complicated
yeah,
things,
so
so now you
fast
kind of
kind
need more
of,
hardware.
yeah, I would say that, like an easy way for me to say that is Cobra Pin's kind of like a um, do it yourself kind of route. It's more of a do it yourself, whereas fast is more of a commercial approach,
Mm,
I guess would be the best way that I would
yeah.
explain it. Both function really well and do a great job. What I liked about fast is that they have a lot of their daughter boards, so it makes it to where you can kind of break your game up. If you have your lower third, you can do everything to one small board at the bottom. You can put your main board in the middle. You can do the other one towards the back. And so it allows you to break up your wiring to where you can make the harnesses a little bit cleaner. Um, but yeah, I'd say the end game, you can get to the end game with either of them. It's just a slightly different approach.
Yeah. Nice. That's
But
awesome.
and both guys,
I was gonna say both amazing companies and people.
Thomas
Yeah,
from Cobra
Thomas
Pin is
Fullenberger, he's
absolutely
so
awesome.
great. Yeah, he
Yep,
really is.
super good dude.
Yeah.
Aaron and the Fast guys are
Yeah,
all
they're
really good people.
everyone in this community is just
They're
super awesome too. Just
yeah,
makes
they
it fun
really
to
really
support.
are.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's I wouldn't be where I'm at. Well, I don't think within the games if it wasn't for different people that assisted. I'd say huge shout out to Mike Becker, who did Fight Club.
Yeah, Mike's awesome.
So his game was actually like my first inspiration. Like that's what I would watch and be like, okay, that would be cool. Let's do something, and kind of went and he actually helped me because I did the 3 screens on League of Legends. There wasn't too many people that had done multiple screens, so he
Right.
actually sent me the code on how to get that to work.
Nice.
And he had 2 screens. I had to modify for 3, but he actually helped me quite a bit in code in the first to work through things and get it all going. Um, and then, Aaron and Thomas both have been great over the course of it. In multiple areas. There's a lot of different people that are in the different groups that have a lot different backgrounds, whether that's coding, electrical, mechanical, and you can kind of get help on almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
3D printing, modeling, CADing. There's somebody in both of the groups that you can ask a question, and you're almost guaranteed to get some form of an answer.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like, there's so many people open to collaborating that have different skills, right? Like, you don't have to
Yep.
build a custom game all by yourself, you
No,
know?
no, no. There's been people that have, one person's
Have
done the
full
mechanical
teams.
build and one
Yeah.
person's done the coding. Mine Crime that was at Southern Fried is a great example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's, you can even do a family project. Mike
Oh, yeah.
and his 2 boys are doing Overwatch.
Oh, awesome.
So they've done a super fantastic job. I have to take a little bit of credit, and I'm not taking credit, but Friday the 13th and Overwatch both started from one of my kits, and there's some other ones
Oh,
that are coming
nice.
that have come from my
Yeah.
kits that are doing a great job, and that's nothing to me other than providing the initial and helping, with
No. And
support.
y'all
They've
need
done,
to play Friday the 13th. Like, oh my God, that game is so beautiful. Just like Saul, you think it's a, a big manufacturer's game like New Gamerville because
yep,
it's just so clean. And then if you're a big horror fan lore or like Friday the 13th universe, it's literally has like what 30 something modes at each of the movies and you like play
yeah,
through the main strategy of the movies and it's
yeah. It has
absolutely
Pamela's head
glory.
actually moves and follows the ball
Oh
as you
yeah,
play,
that thing's so gross.
which is pretty cool.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's pretty neat.
good.
But
So it'll be there at
yeah, no,
Expo,
it's a
right? He
yep.
confirmed
It'll be at
correctly.
Expo.
Yes.
Yep,
Awesome.
he'll be there. Saw will be there. Overwatch will be there.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, that'll
Nice.
be there as well.
Very cool.
Think there's another guy that's in
Gotta add that
the
too.
group that started out with the kit is doing a car based. So he's actually, I think he's an engineer, if I'm not right on that. Moog, I'm sorry, but he works for General Motors, but he's doing a car based one. So I think he has like a cool, it's like an engine mech that will actually be a ball lock for the engine.
Whoa.
You'll actually shoot it. I think it's through a turbo into the engine. So yeah,
Nice.
that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Super exciting. You keep bringing up your homebrew kits, which are super awesome, and I definitely want to cover them. So I'm gonna do a screen share of your shop on Pinside, where
Yep.
people can buy these kits. And actually, why don't you do a screen share for it, and then that way you can navigate
Okay.
through the shop and
Yep. Let me get it pulled
show
up.
us
Yeah,
because
and just to correct my General Motors, it's actually Dodge, and I should have known
Dodge.
that
Oh
because
yeah, yeah, you said in the chat. Thanks for saying in the chat.
yep,
Dodge.
I knew I was wrong too.
Is it Moogly Moog's game?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for joining us. Yay. Wait, is that going to Expo?
Yeah, I believe he's gonna have it there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have the biggest homebrew party ever. Moogly Moog. I'm adding you to the list. So I'm helping Expo with kind of designing uh, the layout of the homebrew section because we are going to have so many games and we want to spruce up that area, get some cool lighting and backdrops like we've been doing for the other PinDevCon shows. So I'm making a nice fun list of all the pins that are going through. And Marco Pinball will be there to support and celebrate with y'all. We're super excited for it.
Yeah, and huge shout out to Marco because they've done a super fantastic job at setting up the homebrew areas. Especially Texas Pinball Fest was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Um, Southern Fried was absolutely awesome. I don't know who all went there, but I mean, we had a couch area where people could sit and charge the phone. We had booths with everything set up. It was really, really cool.
Yep. Yeah,
So
we'll have
just
to
to
follow
kind of
that too.
go over what's on the screen,
Yep.
three main things. So a kit that's no controller, no power supply. So that I had somebody ask if I could do something like that because they had already purchased the power supply and the controller.
Mm.
So that is more of the whitewood, the hardware for the whitewood, all of the mechs for a lower third whitewood plus three pop bumpers, the computer. So that came with the computer that had it's a basic pre-coded system that has everything matching to what needs to be wired. Then it comes with all the wiring, all the switches needed. So the 4 switches and the shooter lane switch. And then that is the no controller, no PSU. The first one, the Homebrew Kit, and I really need to relabel these as Cobra Pin and Fast, but the Homebrew Kit, the original one, is the Cobra Pin system. So that is basically everything that comes in the regular kit without the controller and the PSUs, plus the Cobra Pin controller and the PSUs required for that. And then the Fast system is the same thing, except it's the Fast boards, and it comes with the starter bundle for that to get the lower third going.
Can you click on one of those so we can see on the
Yep.
screen what comes in the starter bundle? Because it's pretty awesome. I mean, like you're really like setting us up to
Yep.
start flipping immediately, which is really cool.
Yeah, and it's meant, you could
Kind of like all the
probably,
basics.
if you had, some basic knowledge with wiring and, felt pretty comfortable, you could really probably get this, wire it in a night and have it going.
Yeah. So it comes
Just
with
for the lower
slingshot
third.
assemblies, flipper assemblies, some pop bumpers,
Yeah. And
some
just to
ball
note, and
troughs.
I do try to, say this
I know
every
I
time I
will.
post about it, but if you like, say you don't need 3 pop bumpers, but you want 4 flippers, I can swap those out. No charge difference. If you need a different mix or something, I can add things in. They're the kits are customizable to a certain extent, where I can add or remove some stuff as well if people, because not everybody needs 3 pop bumpers.
Sure. Yeah. Sometimes one is all you need.
Yeah, yeah, and then like
Three is
for like the
enough.
fast board one specifically, it comes with the computer pre-programmed to match Fast's
Oh, very
wiring
cool.
diagram. So
Nice.
there, Fast has a really good documented wiring diagram that walks through all the steps. The program that I send with that matches that their documentation, so that once you wire everything up, you can kind of just start and go. There's some caveats on that. Sometimes things don't connect correctly, so there's normally some support there to help somebody with like the first flip. But
Nice.
and then it also comes with support. User support. The Discord's provided. If you buy a Fast system, Fast Slack channel is there, and then one-on-one support is available. As I can be available. I have no problem. I normally give everybody my phone number, and I've had people FaceTime me, walk through this step, text me, hey, I'm having trouble here, and have no problem with that, and kind of expected with that to help people get going.
Yeah, if anyone here has used one of these fast kits from Ernie, you see that review up there? Like, let's get him some reviews, y'all. How do you not have reviews on these awesome kits yet?
I think I have a couple, but it's I don't know that Pinside does a great job at
Oh, like
allowing
approving the
people to
reviews?
review shops.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
we're telling them now. Put in the
yeah.
reviews. It helps.
So yeah, I think there's some reviews on like I think my username from these, but not on the actual shop.
Nice. Yeah, I saw something on there like the Baltic birch
Yep. So
playfield
I can
comforter.
actually, so I sell just a lower third playfield, which is it is birch, but it's a cheaper birch. And then I also can do cuts with Baltic birch. So I have
Oh,
I can do any kind of cut files that somebody might need.
whoa.
And then I normally provide the blank. blank lower third file so that somebody can take that and add their inserts and their cuts. I think this was the Tattoo Mystique. I think is this game
Oh,
from Brian
cool.
Cox.
Yeah, Brian's
So his
game. That's
game, I
awesome.
cut the playfield for that. This was for my Vox Machina game,
Right.
one of the original ones, and then that one was. I thought there was 3 on there, but maybe 2 of them are the same. Yeah, but
Can we talk wood? What's like a normal type of wood for commercial playfields like that we would see from a big OEM versus a Baltic birch
normally it's
versus a
like
normal birch or
normally it's a 9-ply Baltic birch is what most of them use.
Baltic birch.
I think the other one I use is a 7-ply, like the cheaper one is a 7-ply birch, but the more expensive one is a 9-ply, and it's very similar to what's used in commercial games. It's what I've used in all my, so like my direct printed play fields from one of them's from a guy named Greg Walker, fantastic pinball. So he actually cut my playfield for League of Legends and printed it and clear coated it and did everything. And then the one in Vox Machina I had cut and then sent it off to be direct printed, got it clear coated, and it's just that Baltic birch. And it looks really good and lasts really well. I mean, as far as I've only had it for a couple years, so I'm assuming it lasts the same as a regular pinball machine, but
Yeah.
it is the same wood that they use.
Is there other types of wood that people can use, or would you not
I
recommend certain types of wood
I think
because of, I
some
guess,
people
softness
use,
or
yeah, I think some people use like a 5-ply maple. I think I have not used it, so I can't talk to it, but
maple? And that's like a
yeah, it's like
harder wood, right?
I think it's a little bit harder, so you don't need as many plies, but the more ply you have, the better strength you have. Because once you add all you do a rail across, each side of a playfield, if you can, which does give it strength. But once you add mechs and do that, if you have too thin of a wood or not enough ply,
Oh,
it'll
it'll
physically
start
sag.
bend. Oh, okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense. All right.
yeah. So like on
Huh.
Vox Machina, I couldn't do the railing because of the lower playfield, so I actually used aluminum stock along the edge, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. But and that one is a Baltic birch.
Nice. Yeah, John Manilin is in the chat. He says he uses 5-ply maple from Lowe's. It's crap, smiley face. Hey, whatever, it's fine. It's working, right? Um, and then Michael Moore says, happy customer here, just slow getting things going. Good luck. That's awesome. Uh,
Yeah,
that's
reading through. Yeah, and if anybody has questions, even not, if you didn't buy a kit, don't buy a kit. Feel free to reach out anytime. I have no problem talking with people about homebrew and helping people figure out what they need and to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, jump in the Discord. Ernie has his Trident Pinball Discord. I'll drop the invite link again, see if we can get some new folks. I gotta work on it too. I have so many things I want to do. Time is just everyone's worst enemy.
It is.
I have ideas up here. It's just
Yeah,
execution.
just gotta do it. Even if you just draw them down and write it down.
Yeah. Maybe then Aaron will let me into his Slack channel.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of my life goals.
He'd probably let you in anyways.
No, he won't. Not until I start working on things. He's trying to motivate me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Until
I
I'm
could see Aaron doing
physically
that.
working on a project. Like,
No, that makes sense. I think you need to. I'll bring you a
I know.
whitewood at the next show.
Yeah.
I'll bring it to you next weekend.
Well, I do. My easiest low-hanging fruit project is the hard body reskin.
Yeah.
So
Nope. Just send it to
collector
me.
cuts.
I'll cut it for you.
Yeah, I'll bring it to South Carolina because I have that roll in Georgia. So grab
Yeah.
it and
Sounds good.
excited. I'm excited. And then I just need to find an artist to work with me.
Fiverr is a great spot.
Yeah. Fair. That is true. I like using Mission Pinball Framework is the software you use. Uh, can find it. Mission Pinball Framework is a free software
Yeah,
too.
it's free, and then also we use Godot, Godot as
Oh
part of
yeah,
the new package.
Godot.
Yep.
It's not Godot. Come on,
No, it should be
that's
Godot. I
that's
agree,
that's
100%.
Godot. Who's calling it
Nothing
Godot?
against nothing against French people, but I'm not French.
Oh, this is a super cute website. All right, I dropped those links in there too. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ernie. We really appreciate
Yeah.
it. This is episode 1 with Trident Pinball, and we'll continue it. Next Thursday, we may play a. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna be
Yep.
at Marco. We might be loading into Soda City, but if not, we might be back at the Marco studio doing live there. We just won't have Kyle Spiteri with us. Teardrop because he's doing amazing stuff at Stern Pinball, and you guys have been seeing on YouTube. They've been dropping their Stern Tech School videos with Kyle hosting, like showing how to make tweaks on their games and all sorts of great things. So I'm really excited for all of that content as well. And yeah, we'll see you next weekend, Ernie. And then Saturday, we're gonna
Yeah.
try to stream Saturday here,
Yep. Nope.
so
Sounds
hit all
good.
the follow
Sounds like a
buttons
plan.
and stuff. Awesome. All right.
All right.
Well,
Thanks,
have a good
guys.
night, and we'll
Yep.
talk to you later. I'm
Yep.
gonna
Bye.
goodbye. I'm going to put this screen on, and then we're gonna see who else is playing some pinball, and we're gonna go raid them on the Twitch. So stand by. It's been a minute since we've got up here, so we're gonna see who can we raid. There's so many. Hometown Arcade, John Wick, just Borg Dog. Well, Borg Dog's working on a Joker Poker, so we're gonna go hang out with him. Alrighty. See y'all next week. 3, 2, 1. Raid now. Excellent. All right. Goodbye, y'all.